Good day, everyone. I am M3L3 from M3L3 I am here to elaborate corporation as a form of business ownership. First, let me define what is corporation. Corporation is a legal form of business that is separate from its owners. In other words, it's a business that is separate legal entity from its shareholders. The shareholders are the investors and people who actually own the company. They purchase the stocks and legally own the assets of the business. It differs from a sole proprietorship and a partnership that is a legal entity that is completely separate from the parties that own it. It can also enter into binding contracts, buy and sell real estate, sue and be sued, be responsible for its action, and be taxed. And now, let us define what is business ownership. Business ownership refers to the control over an enterprise, providing the power to dictate the operations and functions. An entrepreneur is the legal owner of a business, an individual or group that owns and benefits from the assets of the company. There are three forms of business ownership: sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. For now, let us focus on corporation as a form of business ownership. Corporation can be started by one person or a group of people with a common goal. Corporation is a legal entity that is separate and segregated from its owners. By law, businesses have many of the same rights and obligations as individuals. They can enter into contracts, loan and borrow money, sue and be sued, hire employees, own assets, and pay taxes. An important element of corporation is limited liability, which means that its shareholders are not personally responsible for the company's debts. Corporations are owned by shareholders who invest money in the business by buying shares of stock. The portion of the corporation they own depends on the percentage of stock they hold. The shareholders elect a board of directors, a group of people who are legally responsible for governing the corporation. The board oversees the major policies and decisions made by the corporation, sets goals and holds management accountable for achieving them, and hires and evaluates the top executive, generally called the CEO or Chief Executive Officer. The board also approves the distribution of income to shareholders in the form of cash payments called dividends. There are several benefits or advantages of corporation as a form of business ownership, such as limited liability for shareholders, greater access to financial resources, specialized management, and continuity. Limited liability is the most important benefit of corporation, which shareholders are not responsible for the obligations of the corporation. If the corporation didn't have enough money to pay the debt, the individual shareholders would not have been obligated to pay anything. Financial resources. Corporation also makes it possible for businesses to raise funds by selling stock. This is a big advantage as a company grows and needs more funds to operate and compete. Specialized management. Because of their size and ability to pay high sales and commissions and benefits, Corporations are generally able to attract more skilled and talented employees than the other forms of business. And lastly, the continuity. Because the corporation has a legal life separate from the lives of its owners, it can exist forever.